Okay, so this video, I'm gonna tell you how to get these really stupid fan grommets off that they install. They really should just be having screws installed from the case, much like they have for the CPU coolers or whatever, but on a lot of cheap um, office PCs, you'll see these rubber grommets. Now, taking the fan off to replace it for something quieter, or taking the fan off to fully clean it with a microfiber towel can be very difficult, especially when these things are really just fixed in there. So I'll show you some tricks to get it done. One thing I would 100% do in terms of having tools would be having a pair of pliers to help pull and some sort of lubricant. In this case, I'm using anti-seize. In addition to that, a pair of Q-tips, because even though anti-seize comes with a giant brush, you don't really need all that. You can use household lubricants like Vaseline or Vaseline or however you want to pronounce it. I don't really care. You can even use water if you want, if you're really careful with it, but I think you should use a lubricant that's more tacky and doesn't really move around as much. So what you want to do is take a smidge of your lubricant, and I really hope this is getting in the shot. You see the little cone shape here? You want to put a little bit behind it and a little bit on top of it. Okay? So then now what you can do is put your Q-tip away. If you're using anti-seize, I suggest you get a nice rag to put your stuff to the side so it doesn't damage your surfaces or accidentally short your components on the board. You pull the fan and then you get behind it, grab it from behind the fan and pull like that. See? Nice and easy. Now, getting it out of the case is something very similar. Then move around. Sometimes they have these case nubs that are transfixed like this. You're not going to be able to get this out that way. You're going to need to get everything that's within the case out this way. So because we've lubricated a lot of the items within the case, we can, hold on, I might need some better light. So do you see how, right, that one took off because I already lubricated it. That's how easy it is to take these off if you lubricate these. In addition to putting them on, if you grab the case, now you know you'll get thermal paste on your hands, but of course you should wash your hands after. Grab your Q-tip, grab the nub, and then lubricate the back. And then what you're going to do is go around, grab the nub here, pinch it, and then you should be able to pull it out just like that. Now, this method here doesn't actually damage these, especially if you're careful with the grommets themselves or the rubber fan, whatever you want to call it. If you break them, don't worry about it because they're super cheap on eBay. And now that it's already lubricated and you were able to clean the fan, you don't actually need to take this off to clean the fan. You of course could just get all four out. Like there's ones on the bottoms that you need to pull out the same exact way to take it out and then clean it or replace the fan for something quieter, more efficient. Replacement is the reverse. And now that it's already pre-lubricated, you can just pull really hard and easy peasy. Now that it's lubricated, you don't have to pull as hard. If you want to wear gloves for something like this, I highly recommend it. But at the very least, wash your hands after you're done with this task. Reinstalling the fans with all the four grommets in is even easier. You kind of have to either guide it with your pliers, which is sometimes guiding it with your pliers is harder than letting it naturally find the hole. Okay, maybe I feel like I need to censor this. I wish I didn't have the GoPro on my head. That okay, now that it's in, we can just grab and pull, easy peasy. And it's on an old computer like this. These things are so brittle and just so fixed to the fans that they can be really hard to get out of. On a different on the brother of this machine that I have, it was incredibly hard to do that, and I really needed to clean all the dust out of it. Anti-seize saved the day. So hope this works for you. Try different lubricants, try Vaseline. And one thing I highly do recommend, because you know a computer is a dusty environment, try to, as best as you can, after the job is done, wipe away most of the schmutza, most of the lubricant that you've used from the internal components. And this is for two reasons, especially with anti-seize. Lubricants like this act as glue to dust and will just end up being caked over time. And in addition to that, make sure that you don't touch any of the internal components with silver anti-seize on your hands or copper anti-seize on your hands, because they will short them out and you will short out components that way. The top two of these are really easy to do. The bottom twos are really hard, and using anti-seize for this method has really saved me a lot of time, and I hope it saves you a lot of time as well. Enjoy.